apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running frantically, running from their fears, running with their tears.
Hello, hello, hello. It is Sunday afternoon over here in New York. It's 1:43. A lot of stuff's been going on in the news. Too much to, to keep up with. It's a lot of shit out there, to be honest. And because there's a lot of shit, I gotta let you know that I pooped today. In response to all the news out there, there's a lot of shit out there. A few books I wanted to talk about before Miguel gets here, and then I could share out with him. Since this is a podcast or video cast, whatever you want to call it, on comic books, right? Comic books about war specifically. Usually we'll talk about and discuss a book and then kind of guess, compare and contrast it to what's happening in the world, right? This one was pretty wild because I remember, funny thing, I can't find any of the newsreels that were banning this book during the Obama administration. This book was basically written by David Axe, who was a freelancer, and he did a lot of reporting on the Congo. He worked for Wired and a bunch of other companies, BBC to mention. It's an amazing graphic novel called The Army of God. And it was so controversial that our own government basically said that it was funding terrorism, which is totally not true. They were making people aware of what was happening in Congo. And I guess our administration, including the George Bush administration, not just the Obama administration, to be fair, even though to me that's the same thing. A lot of people will disagree with that, but whatever. It's a really good comic. It's a really good book, and it's nonfiction. So it's about the Joseph Kony's War on Central Africa. What I found interesting about it was not just the history of the LRA and Kenesha, but they give you the whole history of Congo, going all the way back to look at the artwork. It's just beautiful, black and white. I mean, you got the whole thing with King Leopold. I mean, they go back. It gives you, for anyone who doesn't know anything what's happening with Congo, and things are still happening in Congo, it's stressful. It doesn't get a lot of attention on the news. It has over the years, but this goes into this deep preference of, Leopold and 1877. Talks about the Portuguese before that. And then they go into the different leaders afterwards, right? Remember this guy here? That was Mobutu. If you guys are boxing fans, you remember that Mobutu was actually running the joint when Muhammad Ali was reclaiming his title in Africa. But this book is not for the lighthearted. It opens up with a story about a teacher that loses 70 of his students to the child army, right? His army was notorious for kidnapping children, murdering parents, and using rape through war, which we're seeing today in our current wars that are happening now. And rape has always been a tool for war, and it was like the raping of children. Like I said, beautiful book. I was looking for the newsreels because I remember when this came out. It was like 2008 or 9. And our administration pointed out this book. A bunch of old fogies felt threatened by it. They didn't even read it. But just the fact that it existed created a stir on, I would say, both sides of the aisle. We had Hillary Clinton Had some. She was our Secretary of State during that time. Obama definitely did increase soldiers to deal with the LRA. Um, and you had the Invisible Children organization that went there to really try to rescue and rehabilitate any of those child soldiers that they had. I don't want to give away the entire book, but this is a must read. Among the other books I recommended, um, like Will Eisner's Prodigals of Zion and so on and so forth. And then this one is a classic, I would say classic fiction, war fiction, right? It's like if you're a fan of the Odyssey, you would, or the Iliad, then you'd definitely be a fan of this reinterpretation of it. Age of Bronze, A Thousand Ships by Eric Shinower. Good, also a good title. Black and white as well. And this book was supposedly slated to have 7 volumes. I've never seen more than the first 4. It may exist, but it's hard. It was a little print run, I'm sure, so it's hard to come by. But I mean, look at the artwork here. And if you know the story of the Trojan War, then you know. I mean, I think there was a movie recently, I say recently, like in the last decade. Brad Pitt played Achilles, right? I mean, yeah, really good. Very detailed art, reminds me of those old Bible stories I talked about a lot. So, without further ado, Miguel Guerra is here. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
I was
How
just
you guys doing? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
talking about these. Did you ever get a chance to read these? It's kind of like a reinterpretation of the Odyssey, the Iliad, like the whole Trojan War story.
Oh no, I didn't.
I mean, there were supposed to be 7. I never found 7. They had the first book. You had book 2, which is actually I read it out of order when I first got it. I had read book 2 first,
right?
And then book 3, and then there was a part instead of a graphic novel number 4, they had 3B. So it was like. And then, so it was originally slated for 7 issues. I don't know if it ever came out. Because there you had number 3 and number 3. So who knows?
Number 3 and number 3?
Yeah, 3A and 3B.
Was that like a printing error? Or?
No. It's like literally 3A and 3B. It's like instead of 4. I guess number 3 was meant to be thicker, and maybe for budget reasons, they decided to split it and sell them separately. Or
I see.
Who knows?
I see. Yeah, I got something here for you too.
Oh, let's see what you got.
Stuff that you can't find in
United States.
United States. So this book right here is by J.D. Morvan. He's very popular. Actually, if you read heavy metal, probably you've seen some of his stories that he's written. But the art is by this guy over here. What do they have his name? A brilliant artist. Anyway, it's based on this lady who fought in the French Resistance. Her name is Madeleine Ruiffaut, and what's the name of the artist here? I picked it up. Actually, the 4th volume's coming out this Dominique Bertin. So Bertin.
Very cool.
But this is the art in it, by the way. So you get to see the art in it. And it's all about her experience and how she ended up fighting in the French Resistance here in France and stuff. So there's like 4 volumes of it. I figured it was a little topical.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you've been bringing all the comics. I'm like, man, I'm making Ray do all the lifting. I gotta bring some stuff too. And,
no, it's okay. I mean, I don't like
your request also because we're talking this week. I have this book.
Yes, yeah, you sent me that. Yeah,
Germany's Black Holocaust, which is a book, not a graphic novel, and it talks about how Black people were treated. Well, the colonization of Namibia and Southwest Africa by the Nazis, and then how the Nazis treated black people
Mm,
and stuff. And some of them ended up in concentration camps. They don't really talk about that when we talk about the
right.
Holocaust and stuff, but a really great book, gives you a really good understanding of that time period.
Right.
Figured it's topical. World War II
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
stuff. So
World War II, it's a double-edged sword. It's like we should know history, we should read about history, but I feel like there is probably no other war spoken more about than World War II. And I think that in turn also influences new people with their prejudices and bigotry too.
Mhm. Well,
Somehow,
it's how it's talked about too.
yeah, exactly. It's the way it's framed,
Hmm.
and I was talking about the Army of God, the child soldiers as well. Before that, this one
Okay.
came out in 2000.
Africa.
Yeah, it's about the Congo, and the LRA and heavy duty stuff as well. It's nonfiction, but and great looking artwork too. This was like pretty good stuff. I mean, they changed the names of the actual people, but then they have photos of the ones that they didn't change, like some of the actual stories that they told. You know,
Wow. Just a
pretty.
second. I gotta close the window.
Go for it. That guy was speeding.
I was like, that
I
guy's
got
scooter's really loud.
yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so I mean, what was interesting about this book, I was actually trying to find the newsreels for it, but I remember how I found out about this book was that our own news media, our liberal news media was saying that that this graphic novel was funding the LRA and Washington D.C. was against it, and they were talking about banning the book. The artist is from Brooklyn.
Oh wow.
Give me a break. I mean, and they never read the book, but they made all these newsreels about
Well, it's
how
like,
they're
do you
sponsoring
remember that?
terrorism. And
Do
the
you
guy
remember that?
back is super famous, like for news and stuff.
Wow.
So it just kind of shows you, even like, I mean, it spans from the whole history of Congo.
Through the
Goes into
French and Belgians
France,
and
the
stuff.
Belgians, and all that stuff, and then it gives you kind of like a preface of that, and then it goes into the rise of Joseph Kony's fucking his war. So I mean, I just think our government felt afraid that this book was out there,
Oh, for sure. For
and
sure. Does it touch on Che?
slightly, but
Yeah, because he was
mostly
over there.
slightly, yeah.
Yeah, it
But
touches on Che.
it kind of jumps. It gives you like an overall. I would say the first chapter is
Right.
almost a preview of what is Congo, the history of Congo.
There's a long history.
Long history, and then it jumps right into 2008 with the disappearance of 70 children from a school, and Joseph Kony, and how he used rape as a weapon, and the whole soldiers thing. And I remember Vice also did a big story on child soldiers back then as well, because I remember showing it in one of my classrooms back then. And
Yeah, I remember seeing those stories circulate around that time.
yeah,
It
it
was
was
pretty
big.
messed up.
But then when this guy's publishing this book, like everybody attacked that book. Everybody.
Yeah.
And
Do you remember there was a channel called Africa Stream?
no, I don't recall that.
Africa Stream just stopped running
Hmm.
because during the Biden administration, they were accused without presenting any evidence by Anthony Blinken to be funded by Russia. And they were just like telling you what's going on in Palestine and what's
Right.
going on in different places from an African perspective.
Right.
And they ended up shutting them down.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me of how a lot of the black movements in the 60s, black and brown, were always attacked with they're communists. Well, even if they were, like, One, who cares?
Even if
Two,
Angela Davis was an ally with a
right?
communist party.
Like they're receiving funds from
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think they really received funds. If they were really receiving funds from that, they would have been more successful and more militant. I think they were more communal, like the Black Panther Party.
exactly.
They you know,
Absolutely.
they
And that's
were getting support, but financial, I don't think so. Because if it
no,
was financial,
no.
other than moral support, I don't think so. Because it would have been a much larger movement, and it wouldn't have died out so quickly. You know,
Yeah, yeah. But you know that whenever something is said to be financially funded by something
right,
and it gets squashed out so easily,
right,
it's just that power wanted to snuff it out.
right.
That's the thing, you know.
Yeah,
So
kind of like when Marvel bought Malibu Comics, and what's Malibu Comics?
yeah, yeah, it just disappeared. Yeah,
It's
it's
the
still
same thing.
lobbying
It's like a corporate
and just
maneuver, you know?
buying it up. It's really messed up. But the thing is that then we, the general public,
Right,
I mean, the collective we, a lot of us buy it. Oh
right.
yeah, you know, they were this. It's like, no, please take a look.
Yeah. If they repeat a lie enough, it becomes truth, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
just like
absolutely.
the Oslo Accords or Clinton saying that Arafat turned down, and that's not true.
That's
The ones that turned it down was Israel and the United States. Every
yep,
country has voted for Palestine to be a state, except for Israel and the United States. So,
yep.
and they've basically been playing that back and forth tennis match for longer than you and I have been alive.
Well, yeah,
So,
yeah. That's true.
you know,
That is very true.
you know,
Even just like today, I was really thinking about how Muslims get. I almost feel like Muslims are being all of Europe's sins in terms of anti-Semitism are being dumped on Muslims.
absolutely. Yep.
And here's the thing. What I think I said this maybe episode 2, maybe 3. I think it was episode 2 that
Mhm.
about 1492, the expulsion of the Muslims. But it
Mhm.
wasn't just the Muslims, it was Jews too.
Well,
So it's like they've been kind of in the same boat in Europe for a long time.
right,
So by them turning around saying, "Oh no, they're the ones who are," I'm like, "Don't gaslight us. We
right,
know it's you.
right, right,
Like we know it's Europe and the
right,
diaspora from Europe
right.
who always likes to sort of it's just like how slavery might be confronted. It's never confronted
Right.
as long ago. Oh, Jim Crow, oh, even longer ago, you know.
Right, right.
And that's why people like Charlie Kirk can do very well because he
Absolutely.
assists in that gaslighting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. I mean, my parents, when they met in Arkansas, there was still segregation. And that's the
Yeah.
1960s.
Mhm.
That's not that long ago. You know, this is still segregation going on during that time. And that's within our lifetime. I mean, I was
Mhm.
thinking,
Same thing for my dad.
yeah, it's like you and I as kids went to integrated schools. So
Well,
it's,
I was to Spain. It was always integrated.
oh, okay. So
Now here's the
yeah,
wild part.
in the US, that was
Yeah.
a recent thing. That was kind of still a new phenomenon. You know, we talk
Mhm.
about Ruby Bridges and all that. They talk about it that was like a long time ago, but really, I mean, I went to school in the 70s,
Yeah.
you know, and Ruby Bridges is what, the 50s, late 50s, you know?
Yeah.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah. From when you started school, probably was like 12 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of, you know what I mean? But it's not presented that way. It's kind of presented like this thing happened a long time ago. There's this chick on a bus, and there's this guy marching on a bridge. It's like
But we're not like that anymore.
right, and that was a
We're
long
good
time
now.
ago. But so I mean, to see the rise of this Kirk, who after really going down the rabbit hole of conspiracy theory,
Oh my God.
which
Yeah.
I love to do, I've come to the determination, and people will say, "Hey, man, you're fucking crazy." Charlie Kirk's still alive. This is a total.
That's what you think? You think he's still kicking around?
Absolutely.
Little teeth is still around?
Watching that video over and over again, and watching that thing on his chest that's not a bulletproof vest. and then watching videos of them like we showed last week, of them dismantling evidence. No ambulance, no doctor's report, no statement from a hospital. The guy was put into an SUV. Like they carried him. I mean, number one, you're supposed to secure an area when someone's shot. Like look at Bobby Kennedy. They secured the area. They
Right.
didn't move the body. They
Right.
secured the body and did not move Bobby Kennedy, right? And then he died on the spot. Like it was televised.
Right.
This dude was shot, lifted up by his own team that were giving all these little signals, and
Playing baseball.
playing baseball, but put into a black SUV, and they just like close the door and
Right.
scrub the area. Do you know that the where that shooting took place, which is still an active crime scene, even though they got the guy supposedly, that's still a crime scene. 72 hours after the college actually started destroying and they're remodeling, ripping up the grounds of that facility.
Right.
That's not how a crime scene's done.
Are you sure it just isn't done that way in Utah?
It's like, let's renovate. Time to renovate.
In Utah, we shoot people and then we renovate.
Right. It's like, and then you're like taking down cameras and touching the scene. It's like, I just, it's like, what the hell? What's going on here? It's like almost like the Trump ear thing. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to say, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it anymore. I don't know even know if he's alive. I don't know if I care if he's alive.
I don't care. Well, number one, let's get that out of the way. Do we care?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if but
what I do care about is what it represents. And what it represents is a loss of freedoms for us,
Yeah.
That's what concerns me. It's not the man's death. The guy was a bigot, blah, blah, blah. He was not a good person. I don't wish death on anybody, but I don't believe he's dead. And then the whole thing with his wife and the mannequin hands.
that was weird. That was just morbid.
I've been not just to funerals. We know that they do use makeup on their hands. Those hands did not look human.
They looked like wax dummies.
Like a wax dummy. And also ChatGPT. Somebody posted, I don't know if I sent you that video. Someone posted on ChatGPT. ChatGPT analyzed that based on the shooting, based on how it was handled, and the video of his hands, determined that it was a wax mannequin and that it was fake.
Wow.
So AI has come through and said this shit is not real.
As long as it wasn't hallucinating. But
Right.
yes, on the hands, I agree. There's just something so. I mean, that was really macabre, like really, really morbid.
Right.
I mean, not to say that someone shouldn't have. It's a person that you loved, whatever, and get it. But to make it public is the morbid part.
Oh yeah.
That was just kind of like.
Yeah. But then that bullet doesn't look like an exit wound or an entrance wound. I mean, that caliber of rifle, which a video I sent you earlier today, would have blown off the guy's head clean off. I mean, a rifle bullet, right?
Yeah.
That bullet would have literally exploded his neck.
Well, this is the assumption, I would say, that was the caliber bullet that was used.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole bunch of different other rabbit holes, conspiracy theories, that it might have actually been a bullet from the back from the camera.
Right.
That it was another person who might have shot him from the side of the neck with a different caliber.
With a different
and maybe
caliber.
it was a smaller.
22 or something like that. Yeah, that would be more believable than a rifle.
Yeah. I think the rifle was
totally ripped his. He would have no head, and there was no blood splash behind the white background, which is again going back into exit wounds. Where would that?
It would have to be a much smaller bullet. I take it. I'm not a gun expert. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't go there shoot.
Yeah, but I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's obviously 100% suspicious.
I've seen better Hollywood shots than that. I mean, it's like, sorry, it's just not real.
But what's so wild about it to me is all the evidence being presented to us,
Right.
such as the text that we're supposed to believe, as a lot of comedians have pointed out, was a bunch of Gen Zs. Okay, we're Gen X. We wouldn't even talk like that to each other.
No, it's like
It was
somebody
like,
in the 60s or 70s writing that shit.
yeah,
Nobody
pretending.
writes in paragraphs except for old people. Let's get that right. Young people text emojis and shit. They don't text, and they're
Yeah,
not stupid
not
enough.
one emoji.
Yeah, not one emoji. Not one. Not one.
Very fishy.
You know.
Very fishy. Yeah, good point.
Not only that, but there was also a video that I had sent you, where it showed that it was a CIA had started a program in that school, and he was the shooter was actually joined that CIA program, but then after one semester dropped out.
Or did he?
Or did he? Right? Like a Manchurian candidate.
It's like, this is your test. You got off this Kurt kid, and
Right. It's like Manchurian candidate stuff.
Mhm.
You're just like, oh, okay. Like I said, for entertainment purposes only.
Oh yeah, no, it's speculation.
It's speculation, right? We still live in America so far.
Yeah.
Well,
And those things happen though. Like in America, it happens. People,
yeah. I mean, I remember the Boston bombing where there was a warning, and not just on the because people make it, the media portrayed the Boston bombing like it happened during the hull of the race. It didn't. The race was pretty much over. The main people already left, and this was just the stragglers coming in, like literally, like at the end of it. The
right,
people
right.
fucking slow to actually, yeah.
True,
And
rolling in.
there was an announcement. I remember watching the videos saying, do not be alarmed. This is only a test. And then the bombs went off. I was already on the location. The initial shooters were that were the bombers supposedly were guys with Punisher skulls on their hats, wearing khaki pants, matching book bags, and black jackets. That's what the media went with at first, and they're like, "Oh no, those are our boys."
Remember that.
All right, and then the mother of the two so-called assassins said on the news that her two sons were hired by the FBI as actors, as crisis actors, and she told them not to go with them, not to trust them, that she had a bad feeling about it. Then they tried to arrest her and kill her after they killed her children. Then they had the fake story of him having a shootout in the town, but the guy came out naked and they ran his ass over with an SUV. Back in the days of the internet, I had that photograph of the guy's corpse with the tire tread right through him. Like they literally ran the guy over. There was no shootout. And then the younger kid who was underage got shot in the throat, so he couldn't talk for a few years. Right?
Yeah, they were Chechen, right?
So, no, they were Arab. I believe they were Arab. I don't think they were.
I think they were Chechen.
I have to look that up. Let's see.
I think they were Chechen because
they were Muslim, though, right? So it's like
that part of Russia's.
She fled the country. The mother fled the country. Let's see.
That part of Russia is Muslim.
Yeah, you're right. They were Chechen and
Chechen
descent. Yeah.
And there was a tie between their father and Dick Cheney.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that was very suspect too. And then you had that whole thing where some of the victims that were wounded and lost limbs were already on videos previously as military crisis actors, that they already had missing limbs prior to that. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to run a race if you only got one leg? I mean, it's like, so it's kind of was like this. They were already established as actors doing terrorist reenactments for the military, some of these people. So, yeah, I mean, the United States, we're really good at blowing up buildings and blaming terrorists. And then, 25 years later, we find out somebody else.
Well, that's kind of like
It's like,
Here in Europe, I think I've mentioned this before because I know I'm very repetitious sometimes, so just bear with me.
yeah.
Operation Gladio.
Uh-huh.
Operation Gladio
Right. And then you had
was,
Northwoods also.
yeah, Gladio was, they discovered in Italy some guy who was going to set off a bomb
Right.
in Italy. Uh, they brought him into questioning before he detonated the bomb. They stopped him. And for a long time, a lot of the terrorism was associated with the communists.
Right.
Turned out that NATO, after World War II, had gotten a lot of the fascists
Mm-hmm.
who were basically, doing jack all because they had lost,
Right.
and got them to start doing all these terror acts so they could blame the communists to keep Europe scared of the Soviet Union.
Right.
So it's shit like that you know that gets it's just a habit. There's a certain pattern.
It's a pattern.
There's a
Yeah. I mean,
pattern.
I'm reading this book called Of Deception or On Deception. It's written by a former Mossad agent that talks about Beirut and how Israel basically knew about it, kind of orchestrated it, blamed the Muslims, and killed over 100 United States servicemen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, CIA, Mossad, they're kind of the same, right?
Well, they're joined at the hip, so
Yeah.
and
And
people
they,
don't talk about it, but the beginnings of Israel started with terrorism
Mhm,
to get the British out.
right,
People don't know that history. They just know the current thing that's happening now and don't
right.
really understand there's a long history,
Yep.
and it's not very clean.
Not clean. And in
Not clean.
1975, Zionism was seen as terrorism in the
Yeah.
UN.
Yeah. That's when the two-state solution came into play.
Hmm.
Yeah. They use, oh, no, wait a second, two-state solution.
Right,
And then everybody went, oh, okay, we'll just put that on hold now.
right.
And yeah.
And I was like, what, 2 years old when that happened? So it's like,
Yeah, I was about
ah,
the same age too. Yeah, and
yeah,
here we are, like
here we are,
almost
same
a
shit,
decade
different
later.
different decade.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
I,
So
I'm still wondering, like, where are these Hamas soldiers that are supposedly fighting this war? Right? We only saw them with pristine uniforms and a tricked out van with a nice mural on there. I was like, where are these soldiers? I mean, we see a lot of footage online. I don't see any war going on. I just see civilians being bombed,
yeah,
hospitals being bombed, soldiers bombing buildings. I mean, they're claiming that all these soldiers are dying over there from Israel, but it's like they're probably tripping on mines or things that they dropped
basically they're
themselves.
blowing themselves up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're blowing themselves up because there's so much shit they dropped on the ground. It's like
Yeah,
how can you not? It's
I
like,
mean,
but you don't see Hamas soldiers. What's the death count of Hamas soldiers?
the thing is that our media doesn't serve us,
Yeah,
so we can't get a decent view into that area.
right. Well,
From what the
zero.
standard media is.
Yeah.
And then online, God knows what you're gonna get
Right.
because
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's complications. So yeah.
Do you remember in the 90s you had the whole Bosnian Kosovo war?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
And then there was a movie called Wag the Dog, and they were
Yep.
just insinuate that war was fake.
Yeah. It was started to try to take heat off of Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
Mm-hmm.
Who, by the way, she was a Republican.
Yeah, she was.
Like, what are you doing? Like, not to excuse whatever he did, but I'm like, don't you think she's gonna rat you out? Like,
Right, like who saves their drawers for like a year and a half, right? Without washing. I mean,
what a fiasco! What a fiasco!
like, I don't know.
Simpler times.
I shower right after the fact. I don't know how you not wash your drawers for a year and a half.
Weird.
It's like,
And we didn't have eBay back then.
mm.
It wasn't gonna
Not
get.
Japanese, so there's not like they got them in vending
Yeah.
machines,
Or maybe
you know about the whole panties and the vending machines at the
yeah.
gym.
Yeah. That's why I said maybe. Yeah, it's strange times, but I think there's a lot of stuff that we're not told. Well,
Absolutely.
obviously, that goes without the fact, but there's
Mhm.
a whole other world that's happening around us, and we have no clue.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I remember when I worked in the prison system, there was that world, right? And then I
Mhm.
used to go to clubs a lot when I was younger. And, most people, most New Yorkers don't really know about the club life unless they're, but that in itself is its own little underworld.
I could imagine.
And then you have the prison system is an underworld in a sense because there's not just the people that reside there, but the people that manage. There's a lot of corruption, and then I remember really understanding the onion of our society, where you had like these dungeons with these very elite people spend like $1,000 a night to get beaten by dominatrixes, and that was another aspect of
Mhm.
the club life. I remember like going into the limelight, just wanted to go dance, and they were like, "Oh, well, there's this event happening, and it's like $85 to get in." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" It's usually like 20, 25 or something like that back then.
Mhm.
$85, and I was kind of curious because they're like, "You're not dressed for the event." I think I was like wearing a suit, and sometimes I'd go down like after work, get some steam, just go dance, and I was like, $85? And I was like, all right, fuck it. I was kind of curious. So I was like, I was like, what do you mean I'm not dressed? This is nightclub attire. I'm wearing a suit. I give pay the $85. And I was like, oh no, this is like a dungeon type of thing at the Limelight. It was a thing called the Black and Blue Ball, which they had annually. And then I was like, oh, this is like a sex thing. But these are like all well-to-do people. Like I started seeing people there, and there was like different areas like that were VIP that you couldn't get into unless you paid or had a certain ticket. And I snuck in, of course, into like the Geiger room, and they had all this stuff going on, people getting whipped in public, and people like scantily dressed, not dressed at all, and people getting it on like right there. And I was like, oh shit. It was an education to see that.
Well, you didn't spend the $85, but if you did, I would have said, was it $85 well spent?
Well, it was interesting. I it was there was still the section where people were there just to dance, but then they had this whole. It was almost like a circus, I would say. You had like vendors selling T-shirts and
And that's
equipment.
the kind of place like today you couldn't do that today
Right. Yeah.
because with these little things,
Oh yeah,
there's a
everything.
lot of blackmail you could be doing afterwards. Going,
Yeah,
here's the
sure,
mayor.
sure. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, if
wow.
you got $1,000 an hour, to get whipped like that, then you're not a working class person.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I mean,
No, you're not.
I later hooked up with a working class person that was a dominatrix that I met through my college. And we did a book, we did two books together.
Hmm.
Technically three. The third one was never published, but and that one was actually very different. The first two were comics. That was Odie's Helpful Hints, and then the third one was Odie's Helpful Hints, but we only had a digital release, and it was like the ladies from Pandora's Box.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of like the real people there. So, but I only had released it online. I didn't print it because it was always very difficult to find publishers to publish that type of material. But I would say those were probably my best-selling comics outside of the Trump world, because every comic book store and every adult store was carrying that book.
It's really interesting that
Yeah.
is so well consumed,
Oh yeah.
but then nobody wants to admit that it's well consumed.
Right. It's like the taboo.
It's a taboo. It's just like I don't know if you know this, but the people who consume the most transgender porn, they're all
Person.
in red states.
Oh yeah.
It's all in red states. Now here's the thing that kills me, right?
Hilarious.
they're trying to connect this shooter to the left because he may or may not have had a transgender girlfriend,
Right.
right?
Yeah. They're
Um,
really pushing that
I don't know
narrative.
if people
That they
know
had
this,
evidence.
but the guy that started the FBI or was the
Right.
head of it for a freaking long time,
Right.
J. Edgar Hoover, was a crypto trans guy,
Oh yeah, he was. He
and he
was
was a fascist, like
big time. He went after his
big
own
time.
people, in
Yeah,
Hollywood. He went after them.
yeah. So just
Yeah.
because someone's trans doesn't mean that they're not conservative. That it makes
Oh,
them left.
absolutely.
That's
I mean, wasn't that Republican guy that was a soldier in a wheelchair who became a senator outed all these Republicans for being cokeheads, snorting coke in the bathroom, and all these old time right wingers inviting him to sex parties and stuff like that. And
yeah. I think I remember that.
he got outvoted. That was just like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
He was basically a true believer
Hmm.
who and I
Oh,
say
he was that young guy.
yeah, he was a young guy, young
Yeah, I
senator.
remember that.
And they voted him out. He got knocked. They were like, we're truly disappointed in him. He kind of snitched on everybody.
Yeah, he did. I remember that. I can't remember.
Yeah,
It was somebody no one would think was like totally into that stuff because they look like
yeah,
a choir boy.
yeah.
It wouldn't be Lindsey Graham. Everybody would expect Lindsey Graham to be, he probably is. Like, very not wrong with it. Likes dudes, right?
Right.
That's not wrong with that. The
No,
part of being like
to each his
hypocritical
own.
about it's the problem.
To each his own. Let's see, which one was it?
Yeah, I remember he was a young guy, true believer. Yeah, Captain America type ideals. And then he found out that it's not even Red Skull. It's like freaking like
It's
trying
just,
to think of something to compare it to. It's uh, just messed up.
yeah. His name was Madison Cawthorn.
Mm. Yeah, and he's in a wheelchair, and they're asking
Yeah,
him to go to a sex party. I'm like, just leave the poor brother alone.
Carolina. Yeah,
He's done his stuff. Don't torture him more.
yeah. They just, yeah. I was like, what?
There was a while ago, I think it was a couple of years ago. There was that whole video that came out where two dudes were doing it in the one of the Senate conference rooms in
Hmm.
DC. Again, whatever. But I mean, this whole we're above all this stuff crap is the part of the reason that people bring it up and go, you're all a bunch of hypocrites.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know.
I mean, what do you think of this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing with the?
Um, okay, I have my thoughts on that. I have some serious thoughts on that. So I'm going to talk about, first of all, I don't care for Jimmy Kimmel one way or the other.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I'm not a
I
fan. I
don't
think
watch his
he's
show in that way.
softball stuff. I
Yeah,
think he's weak sauce.
yeah. All of them are. They toe the line.
Yeah, they toe the line. They're enablers.
Yeah.
But I guess when he's getting kicked out, that starts to worry me because when the weak sauce starts getting, they're expecting it to be even weaker. That means those with stronger opinions, like yourself and
Right.
myself, we're extra screwed. Like that just goes
Right.
without saying. It's
Like,
like when you see the guy next to you getting shot, you're like, oh shit, I'm next. Right.
right.
Then it reminds me of something when I was a kid, because I lived in a dictatorship as a kid. I was too little to remember, but I remember my dad tells me every once in a while because the dictator Franco died when I was about 3 or so,
Right.
and 2 or 3. But there was this comedy group that was on, and they just cut everything up except politics. But they would always end their show with, I'm going to tell you in Spanish, I'll translate it. Y mañana hablaremos del gobierno. And tomorrow we'll talk about the government. But they never did. But apparently it pissed off Franco because everybody, even to this day, a certain generation in Spain will talk about shit and they'll be like, yeah. And tomorrow we'll talk about the government. We all laugh because it was everyone's way of sort of like resisting in the way that they could. So Franco had them pulled off the air for a
Mm,
little while. I mean, they came back later on. They were called Tip and Cole. And man, it was sort of like, wow, I can really now say that our country's gone like full-blown fascist. I mean, who gives a shit what Jimmy Kimmel's saying?
right.
You know?
It's basically soft politics. Basically, most Americans don't watch the news. They watch Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or one of
Mhm.
these night guys, and that's or like even the guy from Real Tonight, whatever the Real Time, Bill Maher,
Oh, Bill Maher, I can't
the
stand
total
that guy.
sellout. Yeah, he's disgusting.
I like Jimmy Kimmel more than I like Bill Maher.
Yeah, Bill Maher's a total tool. I mean, I used to watch his show. I used to like, but to me, he seems like he's a diehard Republican pretending to be an independent. That's
Yeah.
pretending to be a liberal.
Yeah.
He basically sold his soul, a long time ago.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
in the 80s.
Was he ever really funny?
Not really.
You really had to go. No.
His writers
No.
write everything, right? It's like
Yeah, they're not really that good.
when you're in a show and you gotta get people to write shit for you,
Yeah.
you're not really a comedian anymore. He's just like a talking head,
He's Drake.
Yeah.
He's Drake. He's
Yeah.
Drake, dude. Yeah. No, I never liked him because I remember years ago, it was like late 90s. I don't like Kid Rock, but I remember they were talking about if there's a home invasion and someone comes into your home, um, Bill Maher said, I'm a coward. Even if they're raping my girlfriend in front of me, I'm not going to do anything.
Right.
Fine. That's your thing. Sort of disrespect you a little bit more, but at least you're telling me who you are. And then Kid Rock's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? I'm going to try
Right.
something.
Right.
Right. And he says, I don't think you would.
Mm.
And I'm like, who the hell are you? And as much as I don't think too much of Kid Rock, I still really don't know what Kid Rock could do in a situation like that.
Right.
I
Right.
don't know who anyone could do it in a situation like that, except for Bill Maher. I do know. He's told me.
Right.
Right.
He assumes everyone's a coward like him.
Exactly. And because of that, I really despise them.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just because you're like that doesn't mean everyone else is like
Right.
that.
Everyone's not like you. Just because you're afraid of, just because you're a coward and sold out, you just make the assumption that everyone's a coward and sold out.
Yep. And I know
Yeah.
many a mad leftist cosplaying communist out there in America mad.
Oh
This
yeah,
goes up to the white leftists.
for sure.
I'm gonna say this: you've never produced a Che,
Hmm.
and until you produce a Che, you could shut the fuck up as far as I'm concerned.
Right. Exactly.
And that's not saying that Che was all great, but I mean,
Yeah. I mean, but he was a doctor.
you know what? He fucking tried. And by the way, I did
Right.
post up yesterday one of the absolute craziest stories in regards to Che.
Mhm.
So after he died, they cut off his hands, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And they sent it off.
Yeah.
Maybe you know this story, but there was a woman by the name of Monica Ertl.
Hmm.
Monica Ertl
Was she the
had.
the blonde Russian that he hung out with?
She was actually German. Her father was the cameraman for the Nazis. She ends up in Bolivia. I don't know if her mother was Bolivian or whatnot, but anyway, she ends up getting married, but to a rich guy, gets sick of it, gets really heavily into leftist activities. And she joins Che's Bolivian army. So after he's killed, she tracks down the dude that had killed Che and kills him.
Good to know.
She
I've never heard
she-
that before. That's good to know.
You never heard about that? So then her biggest target
Mhm.
was the Nazi. What was his name? Barbie. Oh shit. How could I forget this? His last name was Hans Barbie or whatever it was called. And she did not succeed in killing him. She got killed. But I thought that is absolutely the craziest story. You're going after the guy that kills Che, and then you're going after some like head Nazi guy. Meanwhile, your dad was a Nazi. Some
Right.
crazy ass shit.
I was thinking of Haiti Tamara Bunky Biter was the one.
Oh no.
Tanya.
She's called the Monica Ertle is called the Chase Avenger. So it's like a total like crazy revenge story. It was wild.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that, right? It's really like wild, you know.
Oh, the sixth, that's pretty crazy. But
Yeah.
since they've kind of clamped down on those sort of types of groups, all we have left is the Bill Maher's.
I know. It's
Like
crazy.
revolting like weak sauce.
Yeah.
All right, I got my rant out of my chest.
No, that's crazy.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna make some of you guys mad, but I don't care.
Yeah, no, it's just like yeah, and then what's wild is that the deeper you go, just like look at American media, like the music, like you have like Frank Sinatra, the Rat Pack.
Mhm.
I mean, I was just one of my little hobbies I like to do is go to FBI.gov and just randomly look up declassified files. And then one day I just came across, I think I was digging up Malcolm X, then I got to Muhammad Ali, and then all of a sudden Sammy Davis Jr. popped up, and I was like, "What?" Like, why were they after this guy? It's like, and then like you find out, oh, well, Frank Sinatra was a FBI informant, and oh, he actually had something to do with Marilyn Monroe meeting Kennedy and these mafia ties, and kind
Yeah.
of
Mhm.
just kind of whoring her out, kind of, or like, he was a friend, supposedly making all these introductions. And then JFK had the same girlfriend as the mobster that he was prosecuting. You know what I mean? And then you got
They might have just have gotten together themselves and left the poor woman out of it, right?
right. Then then you got like the CIA and the FBI are afraid that JFK has a big mouth, so he's like spilling secrets to Marilyn Monroe. And then you have him promising her to divorce his wife, Jackie Onassis, in his second term, and then make Marilyn Monroe the first lady in his second term.
Just think about that, though. That'd be weird.
And then he's ghosting her, and they break up. And then you got Bobby admitting to the press that he was the one having the affair with her, that she's kind of like a whore, to kind of discredit her because she was going to expose that JFK and her were having this affair to the media the day she was killed. And then it's like, oh, well, she committed suicide. You have that famous photo of her naked on the bed, face down with all these empty pill bottles. But then when you look at the autopsy report, you're like, oh, she was overdosed anally. So, and it was a liquid, not a pill. It's not like
Well, when you have people like the Dulles brothers going around
Mhm.
knocking off people like Patrice Lumumba,
Mhm.
and then they take them, chop them up,
Mhm.
put them in a vat of acid, dissolve them, that they only had one tooth of this poor guy left. They only returned it just recently. Belgium returned it.
That's
So they're doing shit like that. Marilyn Monroe's nothing,
right. Exactly. Exactly.
nothing.
That just shows you there's no limit to the depth of depravity.
Yeah.
Government's willing to go. They'll take a celebrity and then totally lie about her death.
Well,
And
if they can launch bombs to destroy children,
yep, that's right. Exactly.
one person's nothing.
One person's nothing, no matter how famous they are, right?
Yep, doesn't matter. If anything, they get to own it more.
Right.
Like this is, I was going to say to you, I know you don't think you think he's still alive, but dead or alive. But right now, we all think he's dead. I personally, I think he's dead. I think he's dead. But he's more valuable to the system dead than alive.
Right.
Because what are they trying to infuse us with? They got AI Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, save my life. Charlie Kirk butt plugs. Charlie Kirk this. Charlie Kirk that. It's clearly up my ass, right?
Right.
If you think about about it,
Right.
it's kind of brilliant from their side. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I can't say, I mean, they're playing everyone. There's a lot of us who don't buy it, but overall, there's a lot of people. They got this thing now. I'm Charlie Kirk.
Oh God.
I'm Charlie Kirk. You know, I'm like, okay, you're Charlie Kirk. That's fine. Just wear a neck brace.
Right.
Um, you know, oh, did you? There's this great clip. I don't know if I sent it to you. It was Trump being interviewed by this journalist,
Right.
and she says she says from something in effect, you know, you're bringing hate speech laws and everything else. You
Right.
know, Charlie wouldn't have wanted. He was for free speech.
Right.
You know what Trump says?
No, what do you say?
He says something to the effect of, "I bet you he thinks it's real now."
Ah!
And
Wow.
I was just like, that is wow. But it
Yeah,
just
they're like, how are you? And that's another thing. He has this whole thing about what a great disappointment this guy was killed, and then like right after it happens, you're like, how are you dealing with the death of Charlie Kirk? Is everything's great,
great.
everything's fine.
He should have
It's
pulled the
like,
Tony the Tiger. Great.
yeah, yeah.
You
He's
know,
just like, oh yeah, and look, we're building the ballroom over here. He wants to talk about the ballroom. He doesn't give a shit about Charlie Kirk.
doesn't give a shit about it.
He's just
Um,
like, Charlie who?
Charlie who? Oh
Charlie,
yeah, that guy.
that guy. Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, we killed him. That's right.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
And then you have Netanyahu coming out
yeah.
and
Hold on a second.
saying
I'm sorry.
the first time
I'm doing the podcast right now. I'm upstairs. All right. I'll talk to you in a few minutes. All right. Bye.
you have Netanyahu come out say once he didn't do it, which is kind of odd.
Yeah. At the
Freaking
UN.
like whatever. Second time you're like, third time I'm like, all right, dude. Now you're just
Now you're just making
now
it
you're kind of bringing my suspicion into this now
right.
too. At
Right.
once I would have been like, whatever.
It's like the Judas. Was it me, Jesus? Was
Yeah.
it me? Did I do it? Am I going to betray you?
If it was BB, you know,
I'd be like,
stay
well,
there.
Judas, I didn't think so, but you keep asking me, so I'm
Yeah, it's like
quite possible that it just might happen.
it's just like this idiot kid, and I call him a kid because he's 27. Nick Fuentes.
Oh yeah.
All of
Now
a sudden,
coming
he's
out with this-
defending Israel,
Right.
and there's
They're
something
saying that
interesting.
Fuentes is not a Spanish last name or something now. There's something like
No.
Did you hear
Hear
that?
me out. So remember, I was telling you about 1492, and I always go back to that.
Yeah.
There is a list of last names you can find on the church because they had a list of who were Jewish who became Christian,
Wow.
and Fuentes is a Sephardic Jewish name.
Look at that.
So this guy is talking shit about Jews being all anti-Semitic and all this shit. Of course, getting all these little white boys, girls, all worked up about anti-Semitism.
Right.
And meanwhile, he's of Jewish heritage, like
Right.
distant. And here's the thing: he wants to take it back to, I don't know. He said women should go back to the Middle Ages.
Right.
Right? We should treat them. Yeah. If we go back to the Middle Ages, he needs to understand something. No matter how many generations of Catholic he's been,
Right.
because of a thing called la limpieza de sangre, which is the cleansing of blood,
Mm-hmm.
it would mean because he has descendants that are Jewish or ancestors that are Jewish.
Yeah, they would kill him.
Yeah, you're just a Jew, just like I don't care how long you've been Catholic.
The whole Irish thing about Irish were the blacks of Europe because they had black ancestry.
Yeah, but
that's where you get the
really ironic. And then there's another video of him. Remember when he got assaulted this December 2024? Some lady confronted him because he had come up with the stupid slogan. Comes up with a lot of stupid things. I can't believe anyone listens to this.
Right.
Want to be Andy Rooney. He came up with this slogan. It was like, "Your body, my choice."
Right.
So this woman confronted him at his house. She was middle-aged. He beat her up. hit her with some pepper spray or whatever. So someone had released the body cam from the cop.
Mm.
And the cop's trying to talk to him. No, Nick, come over here. I got to take your side of the story too, because that's my job. I'm just trying to be a neutral party here in this. So he's talking to him. He says, so, oh, you're that white nationalist. And he says, I'm not a white nationalist. I'm Mexican. So this guy's such a sleazeball.
Right.
That whenever it's convenient for him, he's white. Whenever he's convenient, he's Mexican.
Right.
And this is leading the youth. Wow.
Right. He's a coward.
He's a coward. Total coward.
Complete
A self-hating coward.
Yeah. That's fucked up.
That's fucked up, man.
The world that we live in.
Well, the Proud Boys were led by an Afro-Cuban guy, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Apparently, white nationalists have to go get non-white people to lead them because apparently they can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
So that's pretty pathetic. It's like, are there H-1B1 visas for that too?
I know. And then that whole thing with Korea going after 4 people and arresting 300 or 600 people.
And that's a big deal too, because apparently the people who put together the car factories are Korean, and it isn't just Hyundai. They do pretty much every Ford and a whole bunch of others. So Georgia really screwed itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's really something else.
Yeah.
I was going to mention my book, A World Without Superheroes, Volume 2, number 2, is the whole story of Marilyn Monroe as a superhero. And it's all about her after she dies and comes back to life and how she becomes this secret agent for the United States government. So
nice.
Marilyn Monroe. If you want to learn anything about Marilyn Monroe and the whole Kennedy conspiracy, and it's all here.
Nice.
Actually, there's this one page about aliens, right? Because
right.
There was actually in the FBI declassified files, Kennedy told her about the aliens, that the Russians had a ship, and that's why he was trying to make peace with the Russians so they can share the alien technology.
Ain't no one gonna share shit with us now. Not even the little green men. They're like, nope.
Yeah, little green men. Yeah. So I even tackle that. So yeah, who knows? Maybe there'll be a Charlie Kirk comic book from Bronx Heroes in 5 years. I'll get around to it.
I was joking with Susie, my co-writer.
Yeah.
With that someone should do Charlie Kirk butt plugs. This way he could literally be up their ass. Because seriously, I get it. No one should get shot. Fine. But please, don't push that shit on the rest of us. That's it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the guy is a bigot. He's a well-known bigot. They're trying to erase some of this footage of him, de-edifying Black women of color.
And bragging about the deaths in Gaza.
Yeah, bragging about Gaza. Yeah, that's the one I saw. And then calling them stupid Muslims and, all this stuff. And it's all propaganda. He's a propaganda tool that was either used as a sacrifice to further their agenda.
Yeah.
Or a smokescreen. Because what did they pass when he was shot? At the same time he was giving his speech, they basically voted to keep the Epstein file sealed. So it's like
they were gonna do that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's basically, and I think most of us have to understand that the very powerful don't have kinship with us.
No, not at all.
We're just a nuisance. We're just there to work for them, entertain them, die in a corner somewhere, off from God knows where, but they don't care about us. And I think that's hard for some people to accept, because some people kind of
Believe their own
view.
bullshit.
Yeah, like they think that there's some sort of, oh no, they care about society. No, they don't care about us. I mean,
Mm.
all that AI stuff really is about trying to get rid of human beings in order so they can have all this extra stuff for themselves. It's not,
It's an attack on the working class.
yeah,
That's all it is.
absolutely.
You know,
Um, and
they
but
don't
we,
even want us to have the most basic rights of job security and health care.
mhm. And the last time, that's why I love the original Superman comics. I don't know if you've ever read them, the first 13. But in it, it's such a different Superman, and it really reflects a different world of the 1930s.
Because when
Because
he's
in the
mobsters off the roofs, right?
yeah, because you're dealing in a world that's so shattered at that point. Like we were this close to becoming socialist in the United States.
Uh-huh.
And the reason we got the New Deal was because FDR sat down with other rich guys, because he came from a rich family, said, look, they're going to start guillotining our asses. So we got to give them something.
Yeah.
And really, that's what the New Deal was, to sort of like keep everybody sort of happy,
Right.
because they were afraid. So,
Right. Exactly.
But that's not happening this time, apparently.
Oh,
And
definitely
now,
not. It's a totally different. We're on a whole different. We're going to like another level. You know, there's a new layer. You know, the onion's being peeled, and you're seeing a new layer of cold callousness. You know.
yeah. And the thing is, they can't do what they do without all of us.
Absolutely.
The thing with the conspiracy theories, and it's always bothered me, it
Hmm.
gives them more power than they actually have. And they know they don't have that much power,
Right.
because in the end, it's the person who takes their kids to school, wipes their asses, feeds them. They're not in the kitchen cooking.
Right.
They're not going to the grocery store to pick stuff
Mhm.
up. Those are just average people
Right.
who are making a living doing that for them.
Hmm. The
Uh,
ambulance workers, the EMS drivers,
right.
all of it.
All of it.
The hospital employees, restaurant workers. It's every
Yeah.
aspect of their life. The person doing their dry cleaning. It's like, yeah.
And that was one of the weird things about New York, because, I've been gone for a while now, but I keep hearing the prices keep going up. And I just sort of think like, holy crap. You need affordable housing in that city, because or else who's going to do the jobs that keep the city running,
Right.
right? Like who's going to
I
pick up
think
the garbage?
we price people so high to the point where people are working for free. And they're like, hey, well, it's slavery. Yeah,
Yeah,
we pay you a salary, but you're giving it back to us back in taxes.
yeah. Which
So,
is, and actually, you've ever seen this guy, Professor Wolf?
mm,
He's professor of economics. I remember him mentioning once that personal income tax did not come in for working class. It originally was intended for the very wealthy.
hmm,
And then it started to get shifted down because the rich were like, I want to play this shit. So they start shoving it down further and further onto the middle and the working class, which is like totally something they would do. Like we get so screwed. And then we forget that we got screwed. Right? We're like,
right.
yeah, I wonder why I got screwed. Oh, well, that's just life. You know.
Yeah, it's totally like that. It's just bizarre. I feel like
Bizarre.
I had to take a break from. I mean, most of the news I watch is Al Jazeera now. I mean, even CNN I can't stomach, or Fox News. All those news outlets here in the United States are just like, it's like it's like
French aren't much better, man.
you know.
French is in some ways, French news are just as bad,
Hmm.
But I know one thing. I think the reason, particularly here in France, like this British guy once mentioned to me online, I still laugh about this all the time. He said, they give Americans the guns because they know you'll never use them,
Right.
but they don't give them to the French because they know that they will use them.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I,
I
I
think
was
Americans
thinking
are
about that.
apathetic,
Yeah,
you know.
and we play defense for the rich. Let's put it this way. There's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with being rich. It's just, as soon as you start messing with the rest of society to keep continuing to make rich, like, wanting us to fuse with machines. I don't want to fuse with a machine. It's like, it's probably not even going to work,
Yeah,
right?
I want a microchip in my brain. I mean, think about it. They don't talk about it much, but Elon Musk, they were talking about, we have the first person to have a microchip in their brain to interface with the internet in his brain. But he was the 1,000th person. So what happened to the other 999?
And I think he didn't do very well either.
You know?
I don't know if that person ended up going crazy
Yeah.
or dead or
Right. So you had like 999 people that were failed.
wow.
Let's see them.
Wow.
Let's see
And why
them.
did if he's so confident with the tech?
Why does he put it in himself?
Exactly. If it's
Right.
so good, why don't you just brain
Right.
chip you?
He could just put it right on the outside of his scalp and let it like the Matrix and just like infuse you or Johnny Mnemonic or some shit, right? It's like
It's because I think he knows it's shit.
yeah, he just
And I
wants
think he
the
just
brand.
makes a shitload of money.
Exactly.
That's
I
what
mean, our brain processes faster than the internet. So what would be the point of us having the internet to our brains?
Stupid.
Doesn't make any sense.
Stupid.
You know what I mean? Our
These
brain
things are
is the most fastest thing processor on the planet. So what's the point of having a slower processor?
because we'll finally get to be cyberpunk.
No thanks.
Those are cool stories. They're fun. I get it. They're
Yeah.
awesome. But a lot of times stories are just stories.
Right.
Just enjoy it.
Name Jesus is, it's just
Oh, don't get me started on that. I'll get myself. I'll be in trouble.
Because of everything going on. This is my T-shirt for the day.
I pooped today. At our age, though, I mean,
that is a big deal.
that is a very big deal. When we were younger, it definitely would mean something else completely different then.
Right.
Now, older people be like, good for you.
Yeah.
Have other older people coming over. What's your secret?
How do you do that?
It changes with age, right? I mean,
I'm weird for the politics. I was in the gym working out, and they're all looking at me wearing this shirt, like, what the fuck? And people got away from me. It doesn't say fart, it just says I shat. It doesn't say
oh god.
It's like, but I was like, for the first time, and like, usually you have these guys like trying to like look tough, and they try like, oh, I'm gonna lift this weight, like heavier than you or whatever, and then like they just looked at my shirt and they walked away. Like, get away from this guy. What the fuck is he?
I think a lot of us are missing a sense of humor.
Yeah.
There's too many people too uptight, man.
People are uptight. Like I have a shirt,
uptight.
He-Man, but it says She-Man, and he has earrings, lipstick, and a pearl necklace. I got it at San Diego Con. I thought it was funny, and my friend's like, "Yo, man, why would you wear that, bro?"
Oh, that's terrible.
He says, "Why are you wearing that? Why are you doing that to He-Man for? Why are you wearing a She-Man shirt?" It's like, I think it's
because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
That sounds hilarious.
They're like, "Yo, man, do you go both ways? What's going on here?" It's like,
That's awesome.
I like fucking with people's heads. That's what they have to understand. I'm an agent of chaos. It's like,
I have to admit, my friend, I am too. I am too. There are times where you're just like, you know what? You're such an asshole.
right. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to mess with your head.
Right.
Just for shits and giggles.
Right.
It's I mean, like, people just take stuff too seriously.
People need to lighten up.
Were you a fan of Bugs Bunny?
Absolutely. That's my
There
hero.
you go. That,
That's
yeah,
my
that's it.
hero right there.
Yeah, me too. Bugs,
Yeah.
Bugs is awesome, man. Because he was definitely an agent of chaos.
Yes.
But
You know what this means?
of course,
It means war.
this means war. Oh man, I remember a lot of these guys are like, oh, all this trans culture. I remember at the time posting stuff like Bugs Bunny dressed as a woman,
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Which was making fun of Fantasia, if you remember that.
yeah.
That was like Warner Brothers' response to Fantasia was putting Bugs Bunny in a dress singing opera.
But I mean, or just like people freaking out about the Paris opening games, which with the dude with the I don't know, dude or woman with a beard, and oh my god, all the Christians losing their mind. That's demonic and blah blah blah. I'm like, shut up. If it was like 80 years ago, you'd be taking your kids to the sideshow to see the bearded lady. Like,
Right.
stop that.
Give me a break. Yeah.
You know.
You just mentioned that. I'm like, oh, let me see what I can find here. It's like we have look at all these Bugs Bunnies in a dress. It's like let me add it to this.
Let's see.
Let's see if we can find it there. Hold on a second. Oh, I gotta do it again.
See, Bugs doesn't want to be seen.
No,
He's like, nope.
I gotta remove one. That's what it is. Let's see. All right, let's see. Add to stage. Just see. Oh, there we go. Look at all these different versions. This is more than I even remember.
Oh yeah, man. Bugs, man.
I mean, that's a lot.
Like they're all, all this stuff is going to turn these. No, we grew up at Bugs Bunny. None of us walked around and dressed. I mean, some of us might have, but I don't think there's more or less than before.
I mean, look at that one.
Oh damn!
This one I remember.
Oh damn! Yeah.
And then the most look at that. I remember this.
Oh
this is
man,
more contemporary.
I think that's a newer one.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, he was.
Twitter reminds Ron DeSantis that Bugs Bunny is trans.
I mean,
oh god!
And to make it such a,
it's
like with,
and to be funny, it's
yeah, but to make it such a big issue,
yeah,
the central issue is like,
I think it was Biden's and the Democrats' fault for making that an issue. They shouldn't have. I think they're the ones that brought it forward. And like, really, why is that an issue? This is like 1% of the population.
I know. And they should never get picked on or anything. It's
no. But I mean, it's just I just.
But instead of,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, it was to avoid dealing with hunger, black or white,
right? Yeah,
police brutality, and all the other stuff. That's my favorite right there. That one cracked me up, man.
That's I remember watching that as a kid.
Me too. I used to think, man, that guy, he's such a bastard. He's hilarious.
Trans people are not invading countries. They're not bombing anybody. They're not dropping bombs on people in tents. They're not. I don't have a problem with them. Let them live. Fuck it.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's actually a very good graphic novel about a trans person that I have here somewhere. And it was actually this guy. It was during Cuba. He was a Cuban when Castro threw everybody out. He was one of the refugees that came over, and he was in prison for being transgender. And actually, he was not even accepted by the gay community in Cuba or the United States because transgenderism was kind of like a taboo even amongst the gay community.
I guess it's kind of seen like back then. It might have been seen as betraying.
Right in the 80s, right?
Like you're betraying.
Go to the archives over here real quick.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Since we brought this topic up, I'm like, oh yeah, remember? Oh, look at that first shot. That's why I keep my books in alphabetical order. I don't remember the title, but I remember the color of the spine. It's called Sex.
Mm.
This was a really good one.
Mm.
And they had it.
Sexile.
One side's in English, and then you flip it. The other side's in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and this was actually Jamie Cortez, and this was I got this in the 90s or the 2000s. I don't remember.
Wow.
The Institute for Gay Men's Health released it. It was a free book that they gave out, and I mean, it's really interesting. You know, he goes into this whole thing about the gay culture, his experience in Cuba and the United States,
Wow.
and how he was beaten up and abused for being a transgender male. You know, it's like
Wow.
required reading, I guess. Well,
Wow.
the art's really good. I mean, yeah, it's about that thick, and then they repeat it in Spanish, so it's kind
That's
of
cool.
Yeah, I thought sexile. I mean,
Wow.
so, I mean that's yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that even then, and this is like probably released in the like late 90s or early 2000s, that was it wasn't even a topic really discussed.
No.
Of you know, it was
You
just
know,
incorporated into our society and it was accepted. And but once they made it political, it's almost like they put it in a different light.
yeah. And you know what I was gonna say? There's something that both the Dems and Republicans do that's really annoying. One sets up an issue,
Hmm.
and the other one wants to knock down that issue.
Right, exactly.
It's just like, and then it becomes this weird political tennis that everybody gets caught in between, as opposed to
Right.
saying, yeah, whatever, but that's important. We don't want to mistreat them, but we also have other things that we have to deal with. Why are you Republicans who are so obsessed with budgets and everything else all of a sudden caring about anything to do with the bedroom? You know what I mean? It just seems sort of very manufactured
Yeah.
in that sense. Like,
And it seems that I don't know if you ever read the book Gender Queer. That one was recently one of the banned books that the Republicans went after, and
oh,
and
the Republicans, yeah,
and they were banning it from schools and books. And but even the author themselves were saying that they were still kind of trying to figure out where they fit in the world. It's not an easily defined thing,
yeah,
when it comes to identity. So you're
yeah,
reading about their childhood, you're reading about all these different struggles of identity within themselves and trying
yeah,
to figure out who they are and then trying
yeah.
to navigate in the world
And
among
it's not
their
like we're a
peers.
compassionate society.
Right. So I mean, for the I think the Republicans weaponized it, but the Democrats politicized it, and I think
Mhm. And then they play
I think
pong.
it was a non-issue, honestly. I mean,
I agree.
these are people that we actually have lived amongst us. I mean, in the Bible. I mean, come on, and I mean, if you look
Forever.
at the Greeks, with only actors were men. They played the female roles. That
Shakespeare.
was Shakespeare. All that.
All the men were played
Right.
the act. Japan, same thing.
Mhm.
Their
Japan. Yeah.
theater.
This has
Go
always
to
been in our society. It's never been. It was always accepted. You know, as an art. A
yeah.
part of the arts, a part of the art forms. Are they
Even
all artists?
religion.
I don't think so, but yeah, even in religion,
In religion, you had the cult
mhm,
of Sybil,
mhm,
and that was the big goddess for Rome was Sybil. This
mhm,
what we picture this ultra macho
mhm,
society. Every dick online that you'll ever interact with always has a stupid Roman
mhm.
statue for whatever reason as an
And
avatar.
and Native Indians looked at children that were born with both sexes, which is not transgenderism. That's they have another word for it. If you're born with both
Intersex.
intersex, right? That's the
Yeah, there was another word that's actually a derogatory word now.
yeah. Back in the that's the one I remember, but I can't get it. But the
Yeah, it's
intersex,
intersex.
they were seen as a holy people. They were,
Yeah,
they were seen as like seers, or like
that's right.
tell the future.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I was
so
telling you about.
I think it was a terrible decision to say this is the hot button we're going to press and make an issue out of it. and then it triggered everybody, you know.
And I think it
Sides.
inadvertently tells everybody else we ain't got nothing
Right. They have nothing really they could have
to
talked
say.
about ending homelessness, curing cancer,
Mhm.
uh
Our infrastructure,
yeah, housing for all, not just Medicaid for all, but
healthcare,
healthcare. Yeah,
things that people are really worried about. But who owns it? And as
right.
much as I shat on Nick Fuentes, which he deserves that every day,
Yeah.
I'll give him one thing. I did see one clip that he owned the left's language.
Right.
He was saying pretty much like, all these mega corporations, no one does anything for, no, the Republican Party has never done anything for him. And he was going,
Right.
there's a lot of truthful stuff. But of course, with people like him, there's always the truthful stuff to get you a hook in, to get you into some stupid, hateful stuff.
Right.
Right.
I
So,
mean, this is the one only, and I bought this book. I never heard of it until I was on the news, and then so one side's a guy, one side's a boy, is a girl, and it won an award. It's the Stonewall Honor Book. So I mean, and it's easily read. It was written for adolescents because the guy's talking about his adolescence, right? It's kind of
right.
autobiography. The art's simple, I mean, should it be in a school? I mean, I would say no because it's pornographic.
Right.
Should it be in an elementary school? No. Should it be on their reading list? I mean, no. But I mean, is it a very good book? I think it is a good book. Is it, if it's written for high schoolers? Sure, but an older, like college or whatever, maybe a college reading course. But
Yeah.
But I mean, our society. I mean, it's funny how I just went to that page, like first shot, like, whoa, there was a dick. I mean,
Right. Yeah, our society's cool.
it shouldn't be in an elementary school. It should not be in an elementary school. It should not be in a middle school. Should it be in a high school? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that young people are facing. This is a young person writing about their young experience.
Right.
And it's only press, believe it or not. So, I mean, it was a good book. Yeah, I mean, it was a good book. I read it. I enjoyed it, and I only knew about it because it got banned.
Wow. Well, a lot of times those banned books lists actually do better for the artists.
I mean, look at that. I got it in bubble wrap here. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It's like.
So you just got it recently?
No, I've had this for like 2 years. 2 or 3 years when it first got banned. I keep it in the bubble wrap that it was. I don't have enough space in my shelf, so I just keep it on top. And then.
Gotcha.
I don't want it to get damaged, maybe that might be one of those book burning books that'll be worth thousands of dollars in 10 years.
There's such a tendency to that, but it's funny because a lot of the banned books are usually the ones that everybody goes to after a while.
Right.
Because then what you do by banning a book, you're like, well, why is it banned? I gotta take a look at this.
I gotta read it. Otherwise, I wouldn't give a shit.
Right. It can't be. That's our rebelliousness.
Right. It's like, I don't care.
If you accept it and it's not banned, then nobody gives a shit.
Right.
So.
But it was very well written, and I didn't see a political take on it. It's just as if you or I wrote a book about growing up as a kid, where we grew up and our experiences. That's all it is.
It's just biographical, right?
It's biographical. It's not taking a political stance. But and you're also what I liked about the book was that you Maya Kobabi, Maya is basically you're on the journey with them, you're experiencing it because they're a relatable character, right?
Right.
There's a human element there, and that's what makes the book good.
Right.
That's why I got the award, I'm sure. It's not about them being transgender. They didn't get the book for being not every transgender person's a writer, right? Does it, it's like, and it was a relatable book. You can relate it because we're human, and we can, if you write well enough to relate to people, then you deserve the platform that you're given for it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, they made it a target for a political banning of books, along with our friend Jerry Kraft, who also got banned because he's a you know, middle class black person, but he was writing about his upbringing when he wasn't middle class, he was working class. And for some reason, they attacked that book, which made no sense to me either.
Well, they probably think that most of these people who are down with them banning stuff aren't going to read it.
Right.
Like reading has actually dropped in our country.
Yeah.
We don't read as much as we used to,
Right.
you know. So they probably think it's safe to say no one that our constituents are not going to come and actually go and read the book and go, "What the fuck are you banning this for?" Right?
Right. It's like I really
You know?
didn't get it. I was like, aside from that, that dick sucking scene, yeah, that shouldn't be in an elementary school. But
I mean, you could have an edited version,
yeah, you can have an edited version, right?
you
But
know, if that was the only
there are
thing.
kids that are young. I mean, I've worked in preschool, elementary school, and not a long time ago, literally less than 5 years ago. And there were kids already identifying as gay and what have you.
We all knew the one kid that you're like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's like changing your. Some kids walked with two different color sneakers or two different, like every
Yeah, like,
kid's experimenting with who they identity and who they are. That's what. That doesn't mean they're going to be like that their whole life, you know.
no, absolutely not.
I'm trying to think of anything weird that I used to do. I don't know. I still dress weird, but it's like, I
Maybe
mean, I wore
you,
black for like 20 years, it's like
right?
every day and wore black sunglasses. I mean, if that's not going through a phase, I don't know what is, it's like 20 years.
Just be you.
Just be you,
you.
right? Now I wear a lot of odd suits because I think it's funny to, I'm old. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, this is the thing that always killed me is that most of the people that society looks to as being cool didn't give a fuck about what everybody else thought.
Right. It's like, who cares?
So yeah, who cares? If you're happy, you're not hurting anyone.
Right. As long as you're not causing a genocide.
Genocide, you're not hurting little kids.
You're not hurting little kids or anything like that,
You know.
And all these Republicans that are like against these guys are all getting caught up for, having like kiddie porn on their phone, including that old guy that claimed that he was the shooter at Charlie Kirk's thing. They actually rearrested him for having kiddie porn on his phone.
What the hell was he doing there? That's the other question.
Yeah, I mean, and why release the guy in less than 24 hours? It's a major murder. The guy is claiming that he killed him. Then so apparently there's no weapon. Who knows? They're not releasing everything, but you let the guy go in less than 24 hours. Instead of saying, well, maybe he is a planted decoy, maybe we should dig deeper and really grill him, like keep him for 3 days in a prison cell, sweat him out, starve him, and see what he really knows,
That would be if they weren't in on it.
I mean,
because I think the whole system is showing us.
Yeah.
And this is just entertaining a thought. Not saying one way or the other. But if they let him go in 24 hours, it's because the system itself is in on it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're actually looking at and investigating an actual murder and it's not part of the system,
right?
Then yeah, you would do exactly what you said. But if it's like, yeah, we need a saint. We need to change the tone in the country of pro-Palestine. We have to clamp down on the left. And yeah, who cares? We'll get rid of this schmuck over here. And apparently they were saying that Kirk was changing his views on Israel.
Right.
What do I care? I mean, he was still part of the group that was against Palestine anyway.
Right. And it seems that Candace Owens has been on the march, trying to dig deeper, and I think that's going to probably get her killed, unfortunately.
Yeah, and as much as I don't like her, I don't think that's fair. But it's like the quote I sent you from The Godfather. This is the job. This is the occupation that we chose. And he tells to Michael Corleone in Godfather 2.
Right.
Once you get into into the Cosa Nostra.
He's
Don't
not
be biting that hand.
right.
That's the thing. And we think of it as just like civilians, but this is actually gang warfare.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, he was a Freemason, right?
Oh, mate, Chucky,
Yeah.
Little Teeth, Little
Yeah.
Teeth was.
Maybe he was.
If it was Game of Thrones, that would be his name, Little Teeth.
Yeah,
Little Teeth, yeah. He was a Freemason,
he was a Freemason.
so he couldn't make it into West Point, but he got to the Freemasons. Wow, they're desperate. They're hurting for membership.
Membership, yeah.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's crazy. And anything else you're working on now, or that honorable mentions of
Honorable
things
mentions,
you're working on?
yeah. At the Halloween, I'll be rebooting, restarting. As I mentioned, Ghost Metal. I'm working on Necrocon, which deals with a lot of the craziness of. Actually, it's funny because our first episode of Necrocon under Ghost Metal, which is the webtoon that we have, Susie's the writer, and she'd actually written something that we were laughing about later on, that we were actually too conservative, or she was too conservative. She had written that our character who's running for president, who's obviously the conservative guy, says something to the effect of, and I will raise tariffs, like I think she said, like by 100%.
No.
And then Trump said, like months later, 150%.
Right.
And we were in stitches. We were laughing so hard because we're like, man, we were even more. We thought that was
Right.
exaggerated,
Right.
yet he took it to the next level of like crazy.
He even said that the voters are going to save 1,000%.
Did you see some of the people getting the bills for the tariffs?
Right. It's
So
crazy.
yeah. I've been working on that. Deciding to, at some point, we're gonna be rebranding Seven Robots, so we're gonna be leaving Seven Robots the name. Looking to, once I start to save up some cash, maybe start to do some publishing here in France. It's been a long time since I self-published actual books.
Right.
Start to get into that. There's a lot of comic book festivals here.
Yeah, Angoulême. Have you gone to that one?
Angoulême, yeah, I have been to Angoulême. There's tons.
Is it very expensive are they like really pricey like these American conventions? Those big
For
ones?
like having a table there?
Mhm.
That I have to look into. But
Mhm.
there's a whole bunch all over the country all the time.
What do you prefer, like the smaller shows or the bigger ones? What do you think?
Angoulême's really like all about comics, so it isn't like San Diego.
Is it a moneymaker or?
I think it's more of a networking.
Yeah.
More networking. Smaller shows. I've been to a few smaller shows. They're good. The next biggest show I've been to was the Paris Comic Con, which is trying to copy like the New York Comic Con.
Mhm.
And I don't dig that Americanization of stuff too much. I think when things grow organically instead of trying to copy what we do, it
Right.
works better.
Right.
So
Might be
yeah,
the company like Reed Pop. I know they've expanded into,
probably.
you know.
Probably. But yeah, I'm looking into doing that. But I have to, I swear, every time I look at my phone, it's like another weird car crash. And I fall into this rabbit hole, and it's my own fault for doing this. Like, who the hell is this? What's a groper? Oh, it's pronounced graper or whatever, but it looks like groper. Like it sounds like they're a bunch of rapists or something, right?
Right.
And what the hell is black pilling? Oh, you mean it isn't black power? Okay, fine, fuck it. All right, a bunch of kids are basically just emo who can't get over some shit, and so it's.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
Oh, you haven't heard black pilling?
No, I haven't heard that. Is that?
Oh, so apparently what it is basically like instead of the red pill or blue pill, it's accepting the reality that you're pretty much fucked. Right. So think of it as emo plus.
Right. That's the
And life
goth version.
right. That
Mhm.
I'm probably butchering it, but I'm just sort
Like
of
9 Inch Nails music and
yeah, like we've been there, we've been done that. It's like, no, you'll be around. That's the shitty part. You're not going anywhere. Um, so all this, and unfortunately, I think I'm starting to realize that Alan Moore was right about something.
Mhm.
Alan Moore said that kids today don't have there's no counterculture.
Right.
But I think he's a little bit wrong.
What
We
about BTS?
do, but we're not seeing it.
Right.
It's this Nick Fuentes, Benjamin Button of Andy Rooney,
Right.
idiot. Like, to be honest with you, maybe you felt the same way too. When I was younger, in my 20s, or I would say maybe my teens, if I saw some guy my age who's walking around in a suit
Mhm.
or a bow tie, and I fucking know this guy, he doesn't work anywhere, like he's not a Wall Streeter.
Right.
You think, okay, you're trying to act older than what you are. You're a dick.
Right.
Right? That's like Tucker Carlson was a
Right.
dick because nobody wore bow ties. Like
Right. Right.
fucking nobody.
Somebody. Unless he was in the Nation of Islam. He was like
I
the
was just about to say that, right? But those guys
he was
are
like
actually, you
the
don't want
white
to mess with those guys.
exceptionalist.
Right. They kick your ass, right? I'm
Right.
like, okay, all right, you're pretty big dudes. But I mean, like, he wasn't even wearing his father's suit. He
Mhm.
was wearing his great grandfather's suit, like fucking bow ties. Like, just think of that. What was the name of the
Did he have
popcorn with
did
the
he have a
guy?
sucker seat suit with a straw hat at one point
Right, exactly. It's like, what?
and a
What era do
cane?
you live in? But now seeing young people look to this idiot, Nick Fuentes, who isn't even, really, by all standards of neo-Nazihood, white.
Right.
He's Mexican, and on top of that, he's got Jewish lineage.
Right.
Lead the complete idiots that are all like neo-Nazi and white nationalists is fucking hysterical. And
Right.
if that's their counterculture, we're fucked.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah,
It's a
those are
hot
my
mess.
thoughts. And that's what I'm promoting, Ray. That's what I'm promoting.
And I approve this message.
You approved this message. Yeah, no. So back to Necrocon. Yeah, all those ideas are coming in.
Yeah.
We were actually talking about I was like, we gotta have a preacher because religion is just too important for America. So
Yeah.
it's a comedy, you
Wow.
know.
Alan Moore has a novel that I was reading, but I had to put it down. It's called
Uh-oh.
Jerusalem, but it was just like the way he writes. First of all, I love Alan Moore's comics, great. But when
Yeah,
you read his novels, it's just like he's the repetition, the over
mhm.
detailing.
That's very British.
I'm just like, is this Anne Rice? Am
It's
I-
very British.
yeah, I'm like,
Very
this is
British.
like, I was getting literally dizzy, like in the Tower of
It's
Cloud.
very British.
Yeah, it's a good book, but I just couldn't,
Lord of the Rings is the same way too. It's
yeah.
like, fuck, why did you spend 3 pages describing to me this fucking sword, right?
Right, like, just fucking get to the point already. I feel like I'm having a conversation with my wife.
Right, right.
Just tell me what happened.
The sword, the this, the that. And I'm
Right,
like,
it's like
uh-huh. Yeah, we Americans have a different tradition because it stems more from Mark Twain. And
right,
Mark Twain is seen as the guy that's streamlined.
right.
He streamlined a lot of how things are told and uh, whatnot. But yeah, I hear you. I love his cultural commentaries though.
Yeah.
And I do love when he says emotionally subnormal.
That's good.
He's emotionally subnormal. I'm like, fuck. He didn't just call you like the R word. He
Right.
just he upped that vocabulary to be ableist.
Yeah. And in closing, because we're almost at 2 hours here,
All right.
Watchmen is a political comic as well, right? It's a war
That's
comic
right.
without the subtext of superheroes. It really is about the doomsday, nuclear annihilation, and I don't know if you watched the news lately, but apparently there was some subcommittee talking about an alien sighting or something like that. I think it was like last week or this week. And I was like, this sounds like the ending of Watchmen. Is this how it's going to all
Bluey.
go down? It's like
Bluey.
we're gonna have a giant octopus just kill everybody and we have world peace. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but what will it do to the military-industrial complex, Ray?
Yeah,
How are they going to make money?
you know.
We can't have peace.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
got to have war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that's a wrap. We're at an hour and 45. I think we've been clocking an hour and 40. Yeah, let's put a pin in it, and then next week we'll bring up some other stuff, and
Mhm. I
you know,
say we do. And next week we put a fork in it.
if we're gonna. But hey, we're 5 episodes in, so
Yeah, we are.
I think our first 2 episodes are so controversial that now I can't even find them on Facebook. They were blocked. Like I can't even find the original data.
Holy crap.
We've been scrubbed, and no one's watching us actively, as far as I know. But
Oh,
we
wow.
were scrubbed from Facebook. Our first 2 episodes.
Wow. We angered Fuckerberg.
Right? Yes, we did. I was literally trying to download it the other day. I'm like, where the fuck is it? And it was like, this page is no longer here. Cannot be viewed. I'm like, oh shit.
Wow.
So now everything's going straight into YouTube. So fuck Facebook.
Fuck Facebook. Fuck Facebook and the Facebook.
Right. And with that, we have our little closing here.
Away we go.
I got to make an animated sequence for this show. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure.
The apocalypse is coming. Are you scared? Are you prepared? The masses are running frantically, running